The way we approach discipleship is much like an operating system. Think with me of personal computers that run on operating systems. An operating system is the software that enables the hardware and other software programs to run. Without it, a computer isn't very useful. Now, the two most common operating systems for personal computers are Microsoft Windows and Apple's Mac OS. Each system has different processes that control how various software programs function together with the hardware. And each of the processes has certain rules and limits. For example, if you download a software program or application from one operating system to a computer that runs the other system, the program will not work. Why? Because it's incompatible with the operating system. So each operating system controls the core processes and allows other programs and applications to run. Now, I love what the operating system as a metaphor reveals when it's applied to discipleship. Because just as operating systems are invisible to us, functioning beneath the applications that we routinely use every day, such as email or spreadsheets or word processing programs, every approach to discipleship has an operating system that remains largely invisible to us. So we think we're simply praying or addressing a conflict or sharing our faith, but we fail to realize that there's an operating system that informs how we approach these things. That system includes all kinds of assumptions that inform our approach to discipleship and spiritual growth. And many of us have been praying and dealing with conflicts and sharing our faith in the same way for decades, regardless of how effective they might be. Why? Because we're using a traditional operating system that's incompatible with facilitating deep transformation in people's lives. And because it's an operating system, it's invisible to us. That's the problem, because if we don't see it, we can't understand it, and it will not serve us. So we find ourselves locked into a closed system that prevents us from accessing the breadth and depth of what God has for us, which is something we desperately need. The traditional discipleship operating system runs on a set of core beliefs and processes with the objective of growing disciples to impact the world for Jesus. It includes practices such as church attendance and small group participation and giving your time, talent, and treasure to serve other people. And we may add some unique components like new programs or fresh approaches to worship or restudying particular biblical truths, but the core assumptions of the traditional approach remain the same. And we expect connecting and serving and giving to achieve our goal of changing lives to impact the world. Here's the problem. We rarely consider the limitations of this traditional discipleship operating system. So emotionally healthy discipleship is really a new operating system with three distinctives. First, it integrates biblical truths missing from the traditional discipleship model, like the gift of limits, or embracing grief and loss, or breaking the power of the past, or making love the measure of spiritual maturity, and living in weakness and vulnerability. Number two, it integrates loving God and loving ourselves and loving others in a way that goes beyond head experience to actually a lived experience. And then finally, it slows us down. So we ground our discipleship in the person of Jesus, and we focus on who we are on the inside rather than simply what we're doing on the outside.